took, it's something you know now, the flea is the transmitter of this rod-shaped disc. Because if, first of all, if it goes just to bubonic plague, which is one type of plague, that's not going person to person. Anyway, there's all kinds of early and even earlier than that references we get to the plague today of biological warfare back with the Mongols. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Now that we have this lady, it allows me to give her some money back. You can get a Starbucks card. Here's what's happened. I have a good friend that worked for many years, I don't know, 10, 20 years, at our bookstore at the University of Alaska. I knew that the bookstores, and I'd mentioned this to Mario, who's torn up his check that he gave me for cash, that they mark up the book somewhere between 15 and 25%. Now, I know some of that has to be, you know, I got people calling and all that. So I thought I would be the good guy and just buy them all used and have them collect. Well, after class, I had 2 calls, all kinds of administrators. Mea culpa, mea culpa. I violated a big policy, and they really jumped on my tail. So, you have books as I can get them to you all for free. And I can't have gifts. Anything else, I would get myself in deep. That's actually what you paid me, correct?
That's correct.
I know that. If there's only 2 people paid me, Mario's check got torn up. Now, academics has been wonderful for me. It's allowed me to travel all over the world, work in the field, hunt with the nuclear vest, come over. I mean, so this is my gift to you.
Thank you.
So that's it.
Can we still, like, give you a gift? Because I feel bad.
I was just about to say that.
Doesn't say anything
No, I'm
bad.
like,
Doesn't matter. It's just the way things work.
or like, just
What?
like a...
You can't do it during the time the
Oh, I don't think you
Or
can.
they-
I mean,
they
this
can't
summer I
pass
could have
it
maybe
on
sold you
before.
one of my used books.
If he accidentally leaves his car door unlocked, we can find something.
I know what it's called.
Is there 2 books?
Just leave it unlocked on a certain day.
Todd, because I'm giving you the way, you can use this as my copy to get going. I'm supposed to still get a couple copies from, I think it's a used, I forget which book. I went to many different used places to get the best price I could.
Did you go through Amazon, by the way?
I did some.
Yeah.
Some through Amazon, some through references.
Because the great thing
through
about
academic
Amazon is
textbooks.
that you can find, they're sort of the conduit to find books from all over the country, including Canada.
Go down to you.
I use a
So
little
that second one is $5, and it's a little old, but I mean, I know that was that would have been selling here for $15 to $20 almost.
At least.
The other one's about $35.
The
So
market
anyway,
of PCC
you got a good deal.
Yeah, right, they do you wrong at the bookstore.
No, they did
Yeah.
horrible. On one of the books, on my literature book, on the teacher's copy, it said net sale of $42. I paid 56 something for that. So, yeah,
My
it's
gift.
ridiculous.
This seminar.
They did seem
So that's how it works.
See?
That's how it worked out. Get yourself an extra cup of coffee.
They,
Okay. Okay. So we are reviewing, because we never finished the syllabus the other day, very quickly, and we're talking about if this idea of no quiz is going to work, and that we talked about, and we'll see now. Okay, the last thing for the 2 of you to kind of go over the 2 new people that's required is just a short little magazine, newspaper, or reputable internet site. I recommended Science Daily, but there's a whole bunch of them that are pretty reputable. Let's see, Public Library, PLOS.com is very good, and you can go in there and they have buttons you can push on. I think ancient disease on both of those sites, or disease.
What was the site again?
I think it's Public Library, PLOS.com. I can't remember all what the acronym stand. PLOS.com.
Wait, L-O-S?
PLOS.
O-S.
I believe that's it. I'll go home tonight and double check it. Okay, so something from there that just is more recent, something, as I mentioned the other day, just 2 days ago, 3 days ago now, PBS radio had talked about this tuberculosis form, this variation that cropped up in India. There's only 1 in 3 cases known now that's totally resistant to all antibiotics. We've had MRSA, or multiple drug-resistant forms, for some years now. Off and on, makes up a small, that variety makes up a small group that has real problems. But now this one is cropped up in terms of we talked about the evolution of pathogens too, is that there's always a generational length, 20, 30 minutes, and they produce tremendous variety, just like all life does, in an effort to have some that succeed to go on to the next generation. So there's always these variations, and the misuse of drugs and other things has created that, largely, not all, but has created that problem. So something in there for that 10 points, and you can hand that in to me anytime, just a little, put your name on it if you're running it off, and maybe if it's interesting enough, I judge. We just say a couple seconds or minutes about it. Okay, so that takes care of that. Anything else about this syllabus, about its requirements? Just see me. Office hours. Well, how about maybe 2:30 to 4? 2:30 to 3. Does anybody make that? Or I'm usually here earlier too, from 11 to 11:30. But I have no office. Now that's the catch. So we used to have one back here. We shared 2-3 desks with part-timers. So we could meet in a learning resource center downstairs.
Right.
And you just have to look around for me. I'll kind of hang around the front part or the coffee or centerpiece, and I don't know it very well, but if there's an empty room, just walk around a little bit. I'll be in that one of the little study rooms. I don't know, unless anybody else has some good ideas. We do have a part-time faculty lounge, and so that may be better downstairs, and I can just hang out in there. It's a code to get in.
Yeah, but the Learning Center does have a couple of tutoring rooms that you
but
could
sometimes,
use.
if they're used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I'll just see how that works out. We'll just practice. If you can't get a hold of me, then maybe we'll do it in downstairs. There's a new thing, what's it called? I don't know. It's part-time faculty, adjunct something, and I'll tell you more about that if we need to. Grading goes into the whole books, reliability. Oh, just saying the same things down here below. Okay. I think that's it. Oh, I've added something. If we do not have quizzes, put this on your syllabus. You need to, each person as a lead discussant on your section, you need to make up 2 multiple choice questions, as if you were the instructor. And I'm hoping I don't have to use them. No, but it makes you read a little more closer and think about, if you were the teacher making up some questions over your little area. 2 multiple choice questions. It can be very short and very simple. Okay? That goes with your reading. So just add that under your study leading readings and lead discussant role. Thank you. Listen, the 2 of you, if this thing goes real strong, I may have to say, yes, he gave me the money back, bring me, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I got 2-3 calls from all kinds of levels.
What is their biggest? I know.
Mercy, put my hands up,
red alert. Yeah,
So my intentions were honorable to
that
save
he,
you guys some money.
Yeah, what they don't want them to do, because it happened to another professor, that they don't want the professors making money on the side. Do you notice that, for example, if you go to a bookstore, they want you to have your schedule. What they don't want is a student grabbing, say, 5 chemistry books and then and then reselling them.
I got it. Okay.
That's,
I figured there was maybe something. Okay.
anyway.
On the next page, tentative syllabus, you'll see at the top there are some real good sites too. As a student, I think you'll have access to some of these more than I probably did. So that's some of the stuff, Journal of Osteology, Journal of Filial Pathology. Okay. Week 1, we're working like heck to get through that. I will get one way or the other, and I'm sorry girls, but we may not even hit Yersinia pestis. That's the name of the rod-shaped bacteria.
If we don't do it today, do you want
Today.
us to have multiple choice questions for next time?
Sorry?
Do you want us to make multiple choice questions for next time, you know?
Oh, that'd be fine, yeah. I don't expect you to try to get it. Yeah, so for Tuesday. But, incidentally, the diseases we talk about in class, those are things you really should know. I'm not going to, at this point, we're not going to quiz, I guess, on them, but really those would be the things I would expect. You know those Latin names. But this is named after the man that studied it in China, I think, in 1890s and identified the pathogen. Rules of evolutionary dance, we talked about that between host and pathogen the other day, and we remodeled a few things. Today, I want to, just so we're all on the same page, you know, people, objectives and goals of this course. A major goal I want you to have in your mind is there, in the large, big picture sense, is to realize that it is human behavior that is the major player in the evolution and spread of diseases.
Sure.
This takes sometimes, as we'll see in some of these things, a lot of interrelated twists and turns, which is exactly, Mario's ahead on this game because he's head epidemiology, where epidemiologists start. I mean, they got to go into trying to find, for epidemiologists, it's called a case index, where some infectious disease actually started, so they can backtrack all that. It's kind of like a big detective story, and that's what a lot of this is. Okay. In turn then, and we'll see more as I spend more time on this, the model today, in turn then, some of those infectious diseases particularly have had a great impact on development of civilization, which the plague will be our first example of. Finally, before I talk more about the model today and give a little better samples of it, of how these different circles interrelate, and I'd like you to, as we're looking at it, to think yourself about what's going on with it. Well, and then I want to get up to there, E and F today. So therefore, I think it just more or less rules out the plague for today, but that's where we'll pick up on Tuesday. Mario, would you erase that board, because in a minute, second here, where did I put the eraser? Oh, okay, thank you, because that's a little overhead.